Hello, hello. What is happening? Let's guess what is happening. Give a good guess. Guess what's happening in... Not 6 days, David. In 6 hours. I'll give you some time to... Yeah, go for it, and then I'll be back. You know what? Let's go for it. People will show up if they want to, so we'll give them some time, and we'll just start chatting for now. It's a chat stream, guys. That's mostly what I do nowadays. I still don't know what I want to do with like study streams. I could continue doing my Uyghur study streams, but then that's, you know, that gets boring for some people when all I do is read grammar and learn vocabulary. I mean, I think the flashcard stuff is quite interesting, but that's just me. And then I don't really need to study Welsh anymore. And then I thought about, you know what, I have an idea of what I might do later today if we come around to it. So I have a good idea that I think would be interesting to people, at least in my opinion. How is everyone, as Michelle said? How is everyone doing? Hello, Jackie. Welcome. Don't know if you're still here, but always happy to see some old faces. Orange Barnacle will come around at some point later today, maybe. But so, by the way, David, it's 6 hours, not 6 days. I wouldn't be counting down 6 days, not with you guys. Now I sound like I'm going to stream for 6 hours, but no, that's not what I'm doing. Don't worry about that. I don't think I have the stamina. I probably could, but... What's the longest I've streamed? Is it like 4 hours maybe? I think the Cardiff in real life one was the longest I've ever done. Probably. And that was a special occasion. You've had your guess. So you guess it's an Owain Glyndŵr cosplay. How does Owain Glyndŵr look actually? Like I know about the guy, but I don't know what he looks like. Let me just do a quick Google. How would you go about, not that I know anything about cosplay, but now you have my curiosity piqued. Piqued? Yes, piqued. That's the right word. Let's see. Is that the... Yeah. What does the man look like? This picture? That's just like a generic old-timey outfit. I don't know anything about clothes. Maybe someone can tell me some things about clothes that I do not know. Oh, why is there a gap here? Okay, never mind. This one? Oh, the warrior look. I don't know how you'd go about that, but legally changing my name, that would be interesting. I actually have thought about changing my name, mainly because how do I explain this? So I have for those who are not in the know, I have passed my PhD Viva, so I have to do some corrections now. Technically, I could use a title doctor, but I also have to do corrections. I have to submit them, and then I have to wait for my graduation. One of my corrections, which is actually not stipulated by the examiners, but rather by the university itself, is that the name on the cover of my thesis has to match my legal name, or as Americans say, government name. So because right now I put like I put Mu Young bracket Israel Lai. I don't want to not have the name Israel in there because, you know, well, it is on literally everything that I've done. It is on my PhD is in music composition, and on every single composition that I've done, the name Israel is on the cover. So I'm like, I'm gonna put that in brackets and hope they accept it. And they're like, nope, it has to match. Even though everything else I've published, even if I publish academically, I can use my preferred name, but they don't allow it in my PhD thesis. So I thought about actually legally changing my name before I submit my corrections so that they allow me to use my name on the thesis, but that it's actually a lot of work. I've looked into how to legally change your name so many times, and it is still a big mess. It is. I basically know everything there is to know about it, including a thing called matching the name, or I think that's a term or something along those lines, because when you try to get a new passport in your new name and you have a different nationality, so you have multiple nationalities, the Brits will be like, oh no, your name has to match your other nationality, so you got to change the other one first, with some exceptions. So if you can prove that it would be impossible or very difficult to change your name on your other passport, then they would allow you to do it and then add an observation in your passport, which I don't know. I could in theory do, because like if I were to change my name on my Hong Kong passport, I have to go to Hong Kong / I have to go to the Chinese embassy in Manchester, which has famously dragged Hong Kong people inside and beaten them up. So beaten them up, not up. What is up? So I could say that, but so I think I could do it, but it's just a lot of work, and then you get the observation thing, whatever that means. So in case anyone's curious, that's how trans people can change their name when they cannot when they come from countries that don't allow it. But the conclusion is probably I'm not gonna do it. I have like 2 months until I submit my corrections, maybe, and I feel like I can't. So much work. I don't know. Should I do it? I kind of want to make Israel my official name. I also thought about making a video titled "I officially changed my name," because I've received so many comments saying you have to change your name. And then I thought that would be really great clickbait. And then the reveal is I'm changing my official name to Israel, not from. That would be hilarious. Do you agree? I think that is amazing. I want to do it, but it's, again, you know, bureaucracy. Speaking of which, I saw a comment, I think this morning or yesterday, saying, so quoting what I said in the video that I made for New Year's Day, and what I said was basically something along the lines of, well, they wanted 12 weeks to prepare the citizenship test for me, which is fair. They're probably going to wait 11 weeks and then put the whole thing in Google Translate or something. And then that comment said that is the realest description of bureaucracy I've ever seen. I suppose, yeah, I just accidentally blurted that out. Let's see. So no one else has made the guess. No idea about the same thing. Something related to Welsh. I mean, kind of. You should know and have just forgotten. I don't think I've mentioned it. At least you wouldn't know the exact date. Legally changing your name now. Hi, Jackie. Hello, Brady is Beast. Filling out my settlement application right now. Ding, ding, ding. Someone's got it. Jackie's got it. Jackie, please tell me the things I have to prepare in advance, because I literally don't know. So that is the correct answer. I'm gonna call it now. Well, you weren't guessing that's what's happening, but you accidentally got the right answer. I'm applying for settlement in 5.5 hours from now. Well, I don't have to do it at midnight, but everyone wants to get it quickly. Everyone wants to get it done in as quickly as possible, especially Hong Kongers. If there's one thing that's always true about Hong Kongers, is we want things quick. So everyone that I've seen online has submitted their application as soon as they can, which for me starts at midnight tomorrow. So please let me know, Jackie, what I need to prepare in advance, because I actually don't. I'm gonna look at that with you guys. That's part of the stream today. I'm gonna look at what I need for that. If anyone's interested. Hello, Post Periodus. What's happened in Hong Kong is rough. A very bad end to the British Empire era. What can I say about it? No, nothing can change now. Doesn't the UK not have legal names? Very good question, Walking Sophie. So the UK does not have a unified... Welcome, Jared. The UK does not have a unified legal name for every person, or unless we finally get like an ID card or something, if Keir Starmer gets his way. But the thing is, you just have you can have different names, or not different names, you have separate entries for your name for different purposes. And in theory, you try your best to make them match, but you don't really have to do it until someone asks you, like if you apply for a passport, they want proof that you're using this name. So you give them your driver's license, or you give them your bank statement. So it's just extremely decentralized, but at the same time, they kind of want to make everything match. So I don't know what, so that makes it in theory easy to change your name legally, because all you have to say is tell people officially that this is my name now. In theory, but then do people accept it? Like, do banks accept it? Does the passport office accept it? That's a different question. So in my case, because I wouldn't say I will have dual citizenship, but I do have dual nationality as we speak, because Hong Kong people of a certain age basically all have dual nationality. So in my case, I have dual nationality, and that's where the problem lies. Like, they can change it for you pretty easily if I were just British, but because I'm not just British, they have to make the name on the passport match other names on other passports, which is where the pain comes from. That's why I'm struggling. If I had naturalized already, then that would have been... No, actually, no. If I had naturalized and renounced my Chinese nationality, then that would have been easier. But as I said, I want to change my name because of my PhD thesis, and I have to do it pretty much within the next 2 months. So that's not happening. Even if I wanted it to actually do it, renounce my Chinese nationality. I know people have done that, by the way. I've got a friend who has renounced their Chinese nationality because they naturalized as a German citizen, and I think they did it pretty shortly before Germany started allowing dual citizenship. So they were forced to renounce their Chinese nationality, and then I think quite recently they lost their permanent residency in Hong Kong. It's a complex thing. I don't even understand it properly yet. I've changed my name with the change of name deed. Deed poll. Yes, I actually have done it already. So I've done that one time. What I did was add a hyphen in my name because that's the thing. In terms of like whether they allow you to change your name, for example, on your passport or not, also partly depends on how big the change is. So, for example, I have, well, we'll start with it. In Hong Kong, generally how we transliterate our names in the Roman alphabet is one word per syllable, and there's a space in between. Unlike in China, in Chinese people, how they do it is they squish it into one word, which is actually, it works out great for them. But in Hong Kong, we have like one word per syllable with spaces. And the problem with that is when we come to the UK, they think half of our name is a middle name. So they force me to use the first half of my name as my first name. I have argued about that before. I remember going to the bank for the first time in the UK, and I was like, no, the 2 words are my name. They said, well, no, you have the first name and a middle name. And I was like, no, that's my first name. They said the system won't accept it. They won't accept a space within the first name. And I was like, can I add a hyphen? They said, do you have a hyphen on your identity? I'm like, no. So they forced a middle name on me. And then afterwards, 2 years later, I used a deed poll to add a hyphen to my name so that now my first name does not have a space in it. But that was the easy part because it's a minor change. So, for example, when I get my next passport, my British passport, but when I change my British national overseas passport to a British citizen passport, I plan to make them add the hyphen in. And I looked at the guidelines, it's fine. They said it's a minor change, it's just spelling or a dot, or not dot, but like a hyphen. They literally said, it's fine, no biggie, they can do it. But if I were to add the word Israel to that, then that's a big deal. So my plan was to add the hyphen when I get my citizenship. But because of that PhD situation, I'm very tempted to actually make Israel my official legal name, my passport name. You're a doctor of music. I guess you're doing Welsh language music video in 6 hours. That would be weird. I don't know anything about Welsh language music. You can use your preferred name as long as you register both your legal name and then add your preferred name, I think, at uni or at work. That's one thing I tell people. It's one of the great things about the UK. Well, I don't know much about other countries, but in the UK, we have this thing called preferred name, and I can just put Israel in forms. In fact, I just started an application that also answers what Stephen Williamson was saying. I just started an application for a teaching job in Belfast. It's extremely, extremely unlikely that I will get it, but like I was like, might as well apply for it. And initially, when they asked for my name, I just instinctively put Israel on it, and then afterwards they gave me a page where they allowed me to put my preferred name. So I changed my name to my passport name, and then I added Israel as my preferred name. That's how I usually do it, which is great because I mean, normally preferred name is used for things like William shortening to Bill or something. But in the case of Hong Kongers, that works out amazingly, which you can hear more about in my video about Hong Kong names from like a year and a half ago-ish. That thing like gets a bunch of views once in a while, because that's a video where I explain common misconceptions and assumptions about names in Hong Kong. And then once in a while, a Hong Konger living in a different country brings up this issue on social media, and then someone will just link to my video right away. I'm like, I'm about to post a link to my video and plug it in this viral post, and then it turns out someone has already done it, and then I get like a few hundred views out of that. It's an evergreen video. It's one of those. It's amazing. Good luck getting in. All passports, ID cards. How long? Passports, ID cards. Like Jackie, what ID cards? We don't have ID cards in the UK unless you're referring to a Hong Kong ID card. Which, by the way, my Hong Kong ID card is not valid. I recently found out that in theory, our Hong Kong ID cards don't expire, but in practice, they replaced it with a new one, like a certain number of years ago, and then again, in theory, the old one does not expire. But I recently realized that places like banks have stopped accepting the old ones. Like, because my last phone died. This is, I think I talked about this on the stream. This is my last phone, still on my desk. RIP, I love you. My last phone died. And then I had to set up my, the bank, the app for the Hong Kong bank on my new phone. And it's like, okay, do you want to transfer your data from your old phone? I'm like, I couldn't because my phone died. So they say, oh, what you have to do is go to online banking, deregister your old phone, and then register on your new phone. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. And then it says, oh, can you send us your Hong Kong ID card? I was like, sure, here you go. They said, no, not accepted. I'm like, why? Oh, because we need an ID card that is issued after 2018 or something. So effectively, my ID card is no longer valid. It has expired. Theoretically, never expires. Effectively, it has expired because banks don't accept it anymore. Which is kind of, it's on me. Like, I haven't been to Hong Kong for a certain number of years. That is why I haven't got the new one. Yes, but that I didn't expect that to happen. So I basically can't use my bank on my new phone. But that's the thing. And if I had gone to Hong Kong in the past few years, I would have been forced to do it anyway. I think when I entered Hong Kong, I would have been taken to a room or something to promise that I will go through that, or I will have to give them my ID card or something, and then I have to. But that's only if I go to Hong Kong for more than 2 weeks. If I go there for like 5 days, I would not be required to renew my ID card. It's a whole mess. You couldn't transfer data in the end. No, I could not. I lost all my data. It's just gone now. Yay. So I just set up completely. Most of my stuff is backed up in the cloud, but except for certain things, like all my WhatsApps are gone. Like literally from 2014 or something, or earlier. All the old chats were gone. I mean, they're not gone. They are in here. And if I were able to get someone to either fix the phone or like extract my data at some point in the future, I could get my chats back. I actually have thought about it. If someone could do it for me, I would even voluntarily replace my newer chats. So after I switched my phone, I started over on my WhatsApp. So I would be willing to wipe all the newer chats and replace them with the backup of the old chats, because honestly, I don't think there's much new stuff that I need. The most important thing is me and my partner, we don't use WhatsApp anymore. So I don't care about anything else. Like, as long as I can get my old chats with my partner back, I'm happy. But that would require me to go to a place that can fix my phone, and that's just so much work. I have to go somewhere. I don't want to do that. It's just like that's why I don't want to change my name. Sorry, I'm just reading the list of things I need from Jackie. How long have you been living in your current address? That's fine. Complete list of your travel outside the UK. Perfectly fine. I think I told lots of my friends that I have a spreadsheet of every single place I've been to, and also when, like to the minute when I've been there. So that will be easy. And also I listed all my passport stamps in the spreadsheet as well. So I will be able to find them. I know that they're there. Proof of living in the UK, like my bank statement, maybe, potentially. Shumai, quote the fish. 3 grand. I know I needed 3 grand. Oh. Help me out with the 3 grand. Chat, I'm gonna have to pay 3 grand in like 6 hours. Help me out. Please. It's so expensive. It's insane. How long have I been saving for this? I mean, I don't worry, I do have enough, but then I would be, what's the word? Destitute after I pay that 3 grand in comparison. I barely have that, so I would appreciate if someone could help me out by donating to the 3 grand. Hi Rhapsody Mags. I had a nightmare applying for my Irish passport because my biological father used his preferred name instead of his legal name. Oh, that's annoying. I had to get it corrected, but the Irish passport people were being dicks about it. Had me running around trying to get some official looking letter. I imagine that could happen. Like, if I have mismatching names, like that could cause some sort of trouble. Hello. So I don't know. I'm still quite undecided if I want to change my passport name. For example, an issue that I had earlier was potentially my old certificates would not be valid anymore, but then I thought about it and realized, in theory, I could show a certificate and then show a deed poll saying this is my old name, that is my new name, and that would be fine. So that's okay. And also my newer certificates, I've tried my best to put the name Israel on them, like my BSL levels, they all have Israel on them in brackets, so that's fine. Finally sorted. I have 2 first names, it gets confusing. Walking Sophie, how do you get around that? Because lots of places don't let you have 2 first names. Because if you're like, for example, French, then you would have like Anne-Marie with a hyphen. But do we do that in this country, in the UK? Do we have two first names? Is that a thing? Because I know for a fact that lots of systems don't allow it. People in the UK that program computers can be so stupid about foreign naming conventions. Have you seen the people? I think you might not, but like, are you aware of the phenomenon that foreign names often get rejected by computer forms? I think this is not a valid name or something. There's a page. Is that a Twitter page back in it? Please enter a valid name. I forgot. Does someone know what I'm talking about? There is, whether there were social media pages, but also there is a website targeted at people who program computer forms, teaching them basic stuff about how names can be different. And one of the most common examples is when they say your last name is too short. For example, my friend Samuel has a last name with 2 letters in it, and it often gets rejected by forms because they're like, nah, 2 letters, that's probably a fake name. Real last names have 3 or more letters. So that page just tells you last names can be short, or some people don't have last names. Surprise, surprise. So yeah, I don't remember the name of that website. Does anyone know the website? Man on. You couldn't transfer data in there? No, try your Currys. Go to Currys? Can Currys do that? Are Currys reliable? I could like go to one of the dingy little phone shops that spell phone with an F. But I don't know how much I can trust them. That's the thing. Is Currys more trustworthy? My parents have suggested taking my phone to Hong Kong to get it fixed. Because we know places that we trust. Whereas here, like, I know places that exist, but I don't know if I trust them. The 2 first names are separate, so the second first name often ends up as a middle name. Oh, so like our situation, exactly like that. Yeah. So actually, I even before I came to the UK, I had been thinking about adding a hyphen into my name for a long time because in Hong Kong we have a couple English language newspapers. One of them is called South China Morning Post. I grew up reading that. I grew up learning English from that. And the thing that the South China Morning Post does is it adds hyphens to people's names, like to Hong Konger names. Now I know why. Now I know why they do it, because it's catered to like the English speaking audience, or the white audience that don't understand people's names. So they add the hyphen to make it clear. But when I was growing up looking at that, I kind of like the aesthetic. I like the hyphen in it. So I always wanted a hyphen in my name. But I just didn't look into how to do that. But then afterwards, when I came to the UK, I was kind of forced to do that in order to not be referred to by half of my name. So that's how it worked out. Like, I think, for example, in my master's, I actually had lots of different email addresses. Well, actually, it's all the same account, but different aliases of the same account. Because I had to go to the IT department and say, mate, please do this for me. Add the second part in, how did I do it? Yeah, maybe I made them add hyphens or something. I don't actually remember how I actually did it, but or maybe not. No. I made them use Israel. Yeah, I went to the university IT department and made them use Israel for my email address, which worked out great. So I had like lots of different email addresses, just because I had to go through that manually with the IT guys. And then when I started my PhD, I had already added the hyphen. I did that between my master's and my PhD. So I had the hyphen, and then I didn't have to do that with the IT department. So that's a pro. Like, I could just use my default email address because it has a hyphen in it already. So it has a correct name. But the downside is lots of people couldn't find my email address. Like, over the past few years, especially people that I've been TAing, they have to go to like the course outline, look for Israel, and then look for the email address because it doesn't say Israel in it. So that's a downside. But the upside is I didn't have to beg the IT department. You know what actually Now that I think about it, it might have been worth talking to the IT department a few years back to get that sorted. It would have made lots of things easier. But anyway, I used to work in a university in London that made a ton of extra money from foreign students, but would give them all grief about putting the names on the ID cards. Yeah, but then again, a huge number of foreign students in the UK and other English-speaking countries and potentially non-English-speaking countries come from China, and where, as I said, they already have that sorted. They have the whole first name, the given name, as one word, no spaces. So generally, they do okay in this regard. But speaking of the hyphen thing, another thing that some of my friends have experienced is capitalization of the hyphen name. Because let me, I'll tell you my friend's story, but I will replace it with my own name just for illustration. So my legal name is Mu-Young. So the way I do it, which is the same way that the South China Morning Post does it, is Mu with a capital and then hyphen and then Young in lowercase. And that's the way I've always done that since I got my name hyphenated. But then when you think about, for example, French people with like hyphenated first names, they capitalize both first names. So quite often what places will do is capitalize both. I think, for example, on my student ID, yeah, it does that. They did that. Like, I put in my name, I showed them that I want to capitalize the first one, but not the second one, and then they capitalized both of them. And I'm like, that's fine. I can live with that. It doesn't really affect me. But what my friend experienced was when he was talking to British Airways, which everyone loves British Airways, right? What they did was do the opposite. They capitalized the second one, but not the first one, which makes absolutely no sense. And I'm like, is that camel case? Are they programmers? Is that why they capitalize the second word but not the first one? Yeah. This has been an issue for my mom when signing legal documents online for insurance. Yeah, can't have a capital letter in the middle of your surname. You can't have a capital letter in the middle of your surname because Czech grammar. Oh, because her adopted surname, as in like her husband's surname, has a Mac in it, and that's why she has a capital letter in the middle. But other Czech grammar does not allow that. That's silly. I thought that it'd be more problems with the ending because you'd have to add the ova at the end, right? Does she do that? In the Czech Republic, I imagine that's what they do. But that's interesting. Imagine like a Mac in the beginning and then an ova at the end. That would be fun. Yeah, but not very understanding. But you know what? The UK is a pretty diverse country, and we should really have more understanding and be more open towards names of different kinds. But then again, when you think about it, one of the top 10 most popular surnames in the Czech Republic is Nguyen. So they should be expecting foreign names. Maybe just not English ones, I guess, or Scottish ones specifically. Imagine if they had an Irish one, then that would be so confusing. A school in the city of London where they had a ton of extra fields and would make everything work for foreign students. Oh, so they know where the money's coming from, David. That's why. I got my Czech ID card where they were confused about my surname being in the masculine format. Exactly. That's what I was saying. Yeah, you need the ova. You can't not have the ova. That's why one of the top 10 female surnames in the Czech Republic is Nguyenova, which is amazing. I love that. And also, what else? I mean, Lithuania does that to foreign names as well, right? Because if I were to live in Lithuania, I would be called Israelis or Israelas, either one. I don't know if I would have to legally do that. I haven't actually lived there properly, but generally when they talk about foreign people, they have to add the ending as well into the first name. Camel case name, yep. The computer systems make it lowercase. Not real names, but I stylized my online name to be all lowercase, and I've seen many people fail at keeping it lowercase. Wait, what? you stylize your online name to be lowercase, and then you've seen people fail it. Do they become uppercase automatically? Generally, online names are case insensitive, right? That's my understanding. You talk about usernames or like actual names on profile pictures, on profiles. Oh, you're talking about like names on profiles, like I imagine like Sophie something on a profile, and then they change the case for some reason. I've seen people write walking Sophie in camel case. I mean for usernames are not names, right? Usernames are different, so I think the rules are not the same here, and especially as I said, usernames are generally case insensitive, so it's fine if they change it up some. I wouldn't mind personally. I actually, as I said, I just started an application for a job, and the moment I submitted my email, they made my entire email address uppercase. I'm like, what? But sure, why not? Doesn't change anything. Email addresses are not case sensitive, in case you guys weren't aware. Okay, what was I going to talk about before I launched into this name stuff? How did I end up talking about names? So, I want to talk to you guys about an exciting thing that happened lately. Also, speaking of Belfast, right? So, I was informed around a week and a half ago, I think. I'm not sure. I actually haven't had the chance to talk about it yet because I didn't stream last weekend. But I was told about this. I got an email from the producer of the thing that I did with... Hold on. With the S4C. How do I make it bigger? There we go. So in case you guys aren't aware, I did an online, like a web exclusive program with the S4C, as in the Welsh TV channel, last August. So it was not on like broadcast TV, but it was commissioned by the channel for their YouTube channel. They're commissioned by the TV channel for their YouTube channel, and that was produced with a production company based in North and South Wales. So I did that, and a few days ago, or a week and a half ago, I got an email from the producer saying, Israel, we got nominated for something. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I never heard of this thing. Probably because I'm not in television. I don't work in that industry yet. Who knows? At some point in the future, please come on, get me a job. So there's a thing called the Talk Awards at the... Why is this in Portuguese? Or is it Galician or something? Maybe it's Galician. Wait, hold on. That's Spain. What? Okay. But yeah, it's from the Celtic Media Festival. So that's a festival for like television and radio stuff in all the Celtic nations, which includes Galicia. I keep being reminded of that, even though they don't speak the languages anymore, which is kind of sad, but you know what, it is what it is. And they're going to have a festival in Belfast. Everything's about Belfast nowadays. I've got two things on my mind about Belfast in June. So they have this thing called a Talk Awards to award good television and radio content in the Celtic nations, not necessarily in the Celtic languages, but in the Celtic nations. So you've also got like someone from like the Falmouth University or something. So yeah, I can show this to you guys. So they've got lots of different categories, like you would have in like the Oscars or something.
Moving on to short form now.
So there's this thing called a short form. This is in Irish because it's going to be in Belfast. So Ger Urim or something. I'm pronouncing it in Scottish Gaelic because I can't speak Irish. But Scallion.
On Puchin, Betty Pointer Ested.
That's me. No, that was literally my reaction when I first saw it. I was like, that is me with fucking wings on my back. What is happening? Produced by Comunidad.
Beyond me.
So if you scroll down, by the way, Anchillan, I love Anchillan, so beautiful. Arafin is great as well. This is great stuff. It's drama. I love the drama. Too bad this is offline now. Anchillan's still on BBC, by the way. If you have a TV license, Let's go see it. So if you go to short form, where is it? No, where? No, where? Short form. Here we go. So there are 8 nominees. I thought it was going to be like 1 per nation or something, but thankfully not, because that would be a bit silly. But they've got like something Irish. This is mine in Welsh. This is from Cornwall, from Falmouth. Don't know where this is from. Let's see. This is from also Falmouth. Okay, they've got 2 from the university. What about this? From no idea. Okay, never mind. This one? Oh, that one's from Galicia. Yeah, that one's from Galicia. This one is from also Falmouth. Oh my god. And then, this one's from the Eisteddfod, so another Welsh one. So yeah, that's so weird. The 2 Welsh ones are about the Eisteddfod, literally. So the festival that happened, I guess last year or maybe earlier as well. I don't know. No, that guy won earlier. Wait, shit. Who won? Who won it this year? Does anyone remember? Is this from last Eisteddfod? I can't remember very well. Maybe that was, or maybe that was earlier. Did he win the chair? Anyway, so yeah, 8 nominees for the prize. Am I gonna get it? No, because actually it's not me who's nominated. I'm only the guy on the thumbnail. It's a producer who's nominated, or the production company. So actually he's going to the festival. So I replied the email saying, wait, what happens now? I kind of want to go there. I've never been to Belfast. I'm tempted to go there just for the sake of it. But I don't know if I'd have a ticket to go to the ceremony or anything. But that's crazy. Imagine if we won. Imagine if we won this thing. Then I'd get whatever the Celtic equivalent of an Oscar is. Not me, but the program that has my face on it. You know, I do think I play a big part in it. Like, I came up with lots of the ideas. I did all the interviewing. He did the post-production, and also he helped with, like, you know, organizing everything. But yeah, it would be crazy. I can't actually. I don't know what our odds are. I actually have no idea, but I'm looking forward to it. I really kind of want to go. And I'm thinking, you know, if we win this thing, I'm definitely going to pitch some bigger shows to them. I mean, I might also do that if we don't win, but if we do win, I'm 100% pitching some ideas that I've got, inspired by stuff that I was watching recently. Let's see. Some Czech women have started rejecting the feminine ending on their surname as a protest. I think some non-binary people do that, but I think most people don't, for fear of judgment. I don't know. How would you decline? How would you decline a surname that doesn't have the ending? To be fair, there's a lot of Polish people, Polish women, whose surnames are not feminine, and what they do is they don't decline it. They just don't. Like, I know someone called Gołąb, which means what's dove, a pigeon. Is that the same thing? No, that's not the same thing, is it? Maybe dove. Not quite sure. And then they just don't decline it. But the weird thing is, when a man has a feminine surname in Polish, they do decline it. So like Andrzej Duda, the former president, has a feminine last name, and then they decline it. So that's kind of weird. I don't know what that says about the grammar, but that's what it is. There was a boy called Dave, and teachers would constantly tell him there was David. Really? Diolch. Hello again, Orange Barnacle. Looks like Galician. Camel Case is super helpful to blind people who use screen reading software. Ah, okay. Oh, right. So you put things in Camel Case, and then the screen readers can read it properly. So they know how to break up the words, right? That's awesome. Thank you. What's happening in 6 hours? Also, I haven't got to that yet. I'm slowly inching towards that. I'm going through a couple of things on the agenda. on the Rhapsody agenda. I've got things to talk about. I have time to yap. You got to stay here for to get to the rest of the yap, mate. You can now preface your name with an award nominated as well as doctor. That reminds me of a thing that I always do. So in my musician bio, I always wrote Israelite is an award-winning composer, pianist, conductor. And the reason for that is because even though I do very little conducting, but I can conduct, by the way, I just do very little of it. Well, none of it. I have to include that because I have won an award. I have done that one time for conducting when I was doing my masters. But until last year, I had never won an award in composition. So I kept writing an award-winning composer, pianist, conductor. Because all these things combined, I have won an award. But thankfully, I did win an award like late 2024. So since then, I've been able to just call myself an award-winning composer if I wanted to. But I guess now an award-winning documentarian. Would you call me a documentarian? Like did I make that thing? I presenter maybe. But there is also a category which is actually new. I think there is a category for presenters. Yeah, so there is a category for presenters, literally awarding the person rather than the work. So technically I wouldn't be an award-winning presenter because I didn't win an award for presenting, but a thing that I have presented would have won an award. So we are arguing semantics at that point. I don't know, but very cool. More things to add to my name. Award-winning. Whatever I do, Dr. Israelite. If the program wins, you should go onto the stage with wings on. That's not the thing, though. That's not the main theme of the show. I just don't know why they chose that still with the wings. I mean, it's a cool one. We kind of did that as a throwaway joke because they just happened to have that wall with the it was a mural. Do you call it a mural? The wall painting, a mural, right? There's that thing with the wings and for people to take pictures with, and then. Sam, the producer, was like, "Hey, Israel, let's get a shot of you over there." I'm like, "Sure, whatever." We got that, and then for some reason that became the thumbnail. That wasn't even a thumbnail on the actual thing, by the way. I mean, if you look at, let me show you. I have it on my Welsh playlist. They actually posted it twice. They liked the program so much they posted it twice on. Just kidding. They planned to do that from the start, and I find that silly. I guess back then they didn't have the YouTube collaborations yet. I think now if they were to do it again, they might have chosen to do a collaboration between this channel and this channel because it's literally the same stuff. This one is 6 seconds longer. I think it's the outro, the logo, but yeah. Maybe I should ask them to collab me, maybe. But this is in my channel, and can I play it on here? Where is that? Where is that shot of the wings? Here it is.
I siarad Cymraeg?
Ydy person o'r tu allan yn medru perthyn
Literally, just
i'r
that's
diwylliant
B-roll. Just that's what it is. And I walked through this
Cymraeg?
part.
Ydy'r iaith yn hanfodol
What am I even doing? I don't know. I have a stupid backpack on me. Yeah, good memories. I want to watch that again at some point. It's been a while since I watched this thing. It's a bit cringe still to watch myself. Don't worry, I'm not that shameless. I still feel cringe watching my stuff, especially when I didn't make it, like when I didn't edit it myself. They cut out the nice farmer that I talked to though. There was someone I really enjoyed speaking to, and then that's not in the actual program. That's kind of sad. Anyway. I've heard of people in the UK using the term partner instead of wife or husband to show solidarity. Yeah, Wait, where are you from, David? Are you not from the UK? Because I mean, where I am, or at least in the circles that I socialize in, basically we all say partner. It's just the default term now. That's why I said my partner. I'm used to saying that, and I like it. It just takes away all the unnecessary information. Like gender, for example. If I don't want to if I don't want you to know if I'm gay or straight, I just don't have to tell you. And also, I don't have to say unnecessarily whether I am married or not. I don't think it's important to a certain conversation. Obviously, if you want to specify that information, that's fine as well. But the fact that partner has become the default takes the pressure off people to reveal information about themselves, and I like that. My mom has 2 first names and 2 surnames, and the names are always an adventure. Oh my god. I wonder how like Spanish and Portuguese people do it. That will be interesting. What are you credited as? Queddy the Fish asks. Let me see. Am I credited? Well, there's no credits on the actual program. Is there anything here? I mean, it names me. There is my username, but it's not a link for some reason. And then on the actual nomination, I'm not credited at all. I'm literally not credited. I'll show you. I'm not here. I'm here. I'm in the description, but I'm not in the credits. So, according to this nomination, I did not make the documentary. I just am featured in it. You could say award-winning documentary co-producer. I'm not co-producer though. If you came up with lots of the ideas and interview questions, I actually don't remember. How much did I come up with? I think I did come up with the original idea. I did pitch it because by that time we had been in contact via email for a couple of months, and then we were going nowhere, and then suddenly. Wait, I don't remember who actually came up with the idea for this specific program. But at some point we were like, oh, they said what is coming. I want to go there. What about we make something there? It's my first time there. I'll never have a second first time again. So we can go there and talk about my first impressions of what they said, what is, and how I feel over there. And that's what we did. Fun facts about behind the scenes, by the way. That was actually not my first time because we filmed on the second day of the Eisteddfod, and I did in fact go there on the first day. So that was not my literal first impressions, but close enough, right? That was my first Eisteddfod, the second day of my first Eisteddfod. Then you should have gotten a producer credit. I don't know. I could ask about it. Interestingly, the guy hasn't replied my email, but he has commented on the post on LinkedIn that I shared. I shared his post and then he commented on it. So maybe you'll get back to me. Maybe we'll plan a little trip together. Who knows? I've heard lots of people say partners sound a bit more professional than boyfriend. Oh yeah, I haven't thought about that. I guess I'm not in quite the professional world quite yet. I think boyfriend's fine. Do I feel anything about the word girlfriend? No, I think girlfriend's fine. It's not unprofessional. But yeah, partner is more professional. That's true. And part English and part Scottish. You need to be buried under the Hadrian's Wall. I still haven't been there. I probably have told a story about me being tricked by Hadrian's Wall. A bit more grown up, very off topic. What happened to the New Year video? I need to film the rest of that. Yeah, so I filmed the intro and outro at the Lunar New Year market, and then I haven't scripted the rest of it quite yet. I need to get that done. I'll do that after I finish this job app. Because the thing is, the content is, I mean, not directly related to the New Year. So I'm just I've taken my time, especially because I had a schedule, right? I have a list of order I want to publish the videos in. So for example, after the Rivers one, the River Eye one, I was like, okay, it's probably time to finally finish off the Cardiff vlog, which is currently, as we speak, blowing up. Because I had been sitting on that for a couple of months by that point. And also I had, on my Clips channel, by the way, if you're interested, you can subscribe to my Clips channel. no pressure because that's a pretty spammy channel. But if you want to watch my streams in a more broken down form, you can subscribe to the Clips channel. So the Clips channel was also like a month behind, and by late February, the Clips channel was finally getting to the live stream from Cardiff, the in real life one. So I was like, okay, that's it is time. I have now I've now made clips from that live stream. I can just take those clips and put that in the actual vlog. So everything was aligning, the stars were aligning, and everything was coming together. And so I made the Cardiff vlog. And then because I have other things going on, I rarely make more than one video every fortnight. So it's going to be a while until I get to the next one, which is going to be the Lunar New Year one. And then the next one's going to be the one I filmed tonight. I'll talk about that in a minute. Well, we're finally getting there. We're finally getting there. You should ask. Partner sounds better for a lot of reasons. Yeah. So, video speaking Polish? Which one? But thank you very much. I don't know which one. I have a couple of video speaking Polish. Oh, is it Luca's one? I don't know. Luca's video was the best flex I've had. And I was drunk as well back then. So I've talked about that. What else is on my agenda? I've wondered if I might talk about the video that I just posted a few days back, but then depends on whether people have questions about it, because every time a video goes viral or at least blows up a little bit, and then in the next stream I always get a bunch of people coming in and asking me something about the video. So I envision this might happen today, potentially. Congrats on passing the test. That's what I'm saying. Someone's gonna come in and talk about it. But Vivian, you were there on the day, so you knew that already. But thank you. Anyway, we're inching towards the main theme of this stream. Everything is building up towards that. You might be able to guess now by the way that I've talked about it. I've mentioned a few things that are related to that. Back in the 60s, Jimmy Tarbuck and friends went to Scotland and lied to the black friend by bringing their passports. They tricked him into hiding the luggage section of the coach to avoid customs. What does that mean? Even one every 2 weeks is a lot, especially when you're keeping up with a lot of other... Yeah, exactly. So for me, it's maximum one video a fortnight as things stand now. If I made more from them, I would be able to dedicate more time towards them, but now it's still pretty much a hobby. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm making podcasts. My podcast is also quite behind. Like we just recorded episode 91 yesterday morning, and I'm only halfway through editing episode 90, which is a lot different from how I used to do it, which was like we'd record it and then I'd edit it the next day and get it published. And we used to do like an episode every other week. It's just different now. I've got a lot of more things to work on. And also for the podcast, I've now got videos. I've got different things to publish. And also my own videos are getting bigger. But to be fair, I could probably do them a bit more efficiently if I had the time to focus on those things. Yeah. You might have noticed I haven't had a sponsor in a while, and if I did have one, that would have helped a lot with the profitability of spending time on these things. But it is what it is. I need like a consistent view count. Right now, like I could get like 90k views on one video and then less than 2,000 the next one. So the sponsors are like, no, we probably can't sponsor this guy. We don't know exactly how much is a right price for that, and they want stability, predictability. So it's weird. Like I guess the main thing is I'm currently still more reliant on the non-regular audience. Like if a video touches a particular topic or an audience, it's gonna go a lot further. But if I don't get there, so a lot of those extra people would be people who don't watch me regularly, but I need to build an audience that watches me regularly, and that is big enough to support like a predictable view count. Welcome to the behind the scenes of making YouTube videos. I didn't expect to talk so much about this. Is there a Chinese equivalent of partner? Pulling out. Not pulling out. 另一半, other half. I think I mentioned that to my student the other day, actually. Yeah. 另一半 is a good, slightly poetic, but also colloquial way to say partner. Yeah, my other half, that's what we say. Do you like Bethan Hughes Roberts? I don't know who that is. Bun Loi. To me, Bun Loi is more formal. Are you doing the thumbnail title cycling during the first few days? Yeah. The A/B testing, you're talking about that, right? Yeah. I'm actually my last video is currently on the second A/B test. I first A/B tested the image on the thumbnail, and then now I'm A/B testing the title, or the text on the thumbnail. So you might see one of the 3 different thumbnails. The thing is, it works better if you have very different ideas for a thumbnail. Which, for example, in my last video, in the Rivers one, I had 3 very different thumbnails. But usually, I have a clear vision of what I want in my thumbnail, and then I just go for it, and I make minor changes to what's on it. So the A/B testing doesn't work really well in that case, because for like big channels, you have professionals spending all their time thinking, coming up with like different titles and thumbnails, drastically different ones, so that they can A/B test. But for me, I'm just one guy, and I've spent too much time making the actual video already. So I'm like, I have an idea for a thumbnail. I think it works. Whether it actually works, that's a different question, but I just use the one that I think works and then make minor changes to it. I do wonder how much of that is people clicking on a video they've already seen. Yeah, sometimes like they end up A/B testing things that look completely different. Because now, as of like last year, we started being able to A/B test the thumbnail as well as the title, because it used to be only thumbnails. So now you can have the same video packaged in a completely different thumbnail and a different title. So people might be tricked into clicking on the same thing for a second time. And I don't want that. The reason is because if someone clicks in it, realizes they have already watched it, and then clicks away, then that's really bad for the watch time. I think anyway, according to my understanding. So I try not to make something that's drastically different. I could make something that's different, but actually still makes it clear that it's the same video. Would never have guessed that that's how you pronounce his. Why? How else would you pronounce it? Reese, right? His. I've got a student named his actually, and then I pronounced it his one time. And I was like, what? Everyone else says Reese. I like to use the h sound for the RH. In proper like dictionary pronunciation, you'd say Reese, but I can't be asked to do that. So the sound that I learned from Glossica was h. So Rhapsody, right? H. And I like how it sounds. Taiwanese a wife is called Taiwanese, so in Taiwan that would be what? Can chu? 是安尼讲，那是安怎？我无确定can chu 对不？ Bethan Hayes Roberts, she's a Welsh journalist. Oh, cool! I'll look into that. What does she do? Does she do a certain kind of journalism? Now with the dirurike, it's so hard to say that word. Journalist feminine. Now with the dirurike, chyflwynydd o Gymru yw Bethan Hayes Roberts. Cafodd ei geni ym Mangor ac aeth i ysgol Tryfan. What does she do? Fe ymunodd ar y BBC, a BBEC, Yugoslavia a Sudan. Oh, cool. BBC World Service a Gaerdydd. Good Morning Wales, a sgwrs. Cool. Man, woman, couples are pronounced the same way. In Korean, partners, bubu. Oh! Wait, no, there's literally no No difference in pronunciation, because that could be. Do they do intonation? Japanese does intonation. Korean seemingly doesn't do it. Oh, so maybe, yeah, it's true. It's pronounced the same thing. Very interesting. So I'm going to talk about the next thing now. So today is the 22nd of March. Tomorrow is 23rd. So what's happening tomorrow? Drum roll, please. Is I'm finally actually applying for settlement now. And as I keep repeating, I'm applying for settlement, not citizenship, quite yet. It takes another year after settlement to get citizenship. I know it's very misleading because I keep talking about citizenship test, which is actually officially not called the citizenship test. It's called the Life in the UK test. And the purpose is to show your knowledge of language and life. But everyone calls it a citizenship test, so I have to do that, even though it's misleading. So I got my visa, my current visa, on the 20th of April 2021. I actually applied on the very day that it was available, but I think I wasn't the first ones. I don't know if it's just random or if it's like I didn't apply at midnight. That's why I didn't get it as soon as some other people. Some other people have already. Other people got their visas in like March or February. I got it in April, and 5 years from that is the 20th of April, 2026, and I am allowed to apply for settlement 28 days before that, which is good in 5 hours from now. If I've done my maths correctly, I would look so stupid if I got the maths wrong, but I'm pretty sure 28 days before 20th of April, which is very easy to remember for some reason, is the 23rd of March. So everyone I've seen on social media from Hong Kong has sent in their application on day one. The same application that Jackie is currently working on right now as we speak. When I say on day one, I mean like as soon as they can, which is 28 days before their visa is up. In fact, I've been getting emails from the uni reminding me that my visa is expiring. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm applying for settlement soon, so stop reminding me that. But anyway, so I feel like I feel a pressure to do that as well. And also, the sooner I apply, the better my chances that I get it ASAP, and then I can go to the polyglot gathering in Brno. Is this one 25? Yeah, that's the one in Brno. That's from last year. So I'm gonna talk more about it when I'm filming the video where I do that in a few hours' time. But I can tell you now, I think after lots of thought, I think I'm not gonna pay for the priority processing, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One, obviously money. The application itself already costs $3,000, which is more than I've spent on anything ever. I'm barely able to afford that. So extra £500 would be a lot more on top of that. And also I've been looking at lots of statistics. So because people are so concerned about that they have done lots of surveys. So I saw a graph by Hong Kong people doing the same thing. You know what? I'll show you that graph. Let me see if I have it with me. So it's a graph of how long it's taken for people to get their settlement. Where's my WhatsApp? Let me try to get that graph. Save it, and then I'll open it for you. Okay, it's kind of crazy how much people care about this. I mean, it is time and money, so makes sense. Let me see this one. So, according to statistics, it's so important, right? You care about so much. You look at graphs and stuff. So these are when people pay the £500, and usually they get it within like 2 days, or up to 5 days, and that's fine. That's what they pay for. Whereas when people don't pay for that, that's when the problems come. So so far, people start applying around February. I imagine that's the earliest, basically. I think this person. I think what this one particular person did was when they applied for the visa, which was on, they could apply for the visa as soon as the 1st of February 2021. I think they paid for priority processing back then. So they got it in early February. So now they can apply for this in late January. They're like really impatient. But anyway, so people start applying around this time. And then so this is when people are applying. So it has gone up a lot. So when it started, it took around 2 weeks, which is very good. Because the worst case scenario is it takes 6 months. So 2 weeks is pretty good for someone who hasn't paid for priority processing. And then it has since then lengthened. So now it takes like a month, which is bad. I mean, no, that's not now. That's like a month ago. So I'm still quite worried. There's a good chance mine is going to take more than a month. So I could get my settlement in like late April, and then I would have 1 month until the polyglot gathering, which means I would be booking hotels and flights and things only a month before the trip, which is kind of bad, but also not too bad, hopefully. As I've spoken to a friend about this, and then he said, it was the one thing that basically decided it for me. He said, however much the polyglot gathering costs, however much extra you pay for flights and hotel, it's probably still cheaper than £500. So unless I really, really, really have to go, I want to make sure I am able to go 100%. It's more cost effective to wait, which is fair, I think. Can you get refundable rooms? I could probably, yeah. I think until this point, I haven't really given it any thought yet. I was so focused on other things, including applying for this thing, that I haven't thought about actually planning that trip yet. But yeah, I think my friend reminded me last night that I could probably start looking at refundable rooms now. I might do that later. I have other things to work on. We'll get around to that. But yeah, so a friend of mine has applied 2 weeks ago. They haven't got it yet, so I imagine I will not be able to get it within 2 weeks. So I'm not too optimistic, but I'm also not pessimistic either. I think, touch wood, I think I will get it by like end of April. So that's the plan. As for what I need, I'm basically just saying the stuff I'm planning to say tonight. I'll save that for the video. You know what? I'm not going to say everything. No difference in Korean. You have to go soon? Okay. Can you get... fingers crossed you get it ASAP. Years before I get to do this. You're waiting for that as well. But the thing is... Okay, you know what I'm going to do with you guys? Is I'm going to look into the stuff that I need. Or look at what the guidelines say. Because when I do the video tonight, it's going to be... me just going for it and submitting the application. That is my visa, by the way. Say hi. Initially, I clicked this one by accident because I thought it was the documents I need for settlement. But no, it is the documents you need for the visa. So that's for Israel 5 years ago. So not for Israel now. So a settlement UK. It actually doesn't say what you need. It's very confusing. It's called settlement. Gives you right to live, work and study for as long as you like. Yeah, Farage hates that. He wants to not let me get that. Too bad. I'm getting it like next month. The earliest you can apply is 28 days before. I've been in the UK for 5 years. So, I mean, I've been for longer. And I actually did apply for my visa in the UK. But it's a weird situation where, I mean, it starts counting the day I got the visa. So that will be the 20th of April. So that I'm applying tonight or tomorrow, or you might say. You must have spent no more than 180 days outside the UK in any 12 months period. I'll show you something crazy that I actually whipped up myself. I won't show you everything because there's a lot of like very private information there, but I will show you this. I think there's nothing private here. Yeah, no, nothing private in this particular screen. So this is the said spreadsheet of where I've been since as far as I can remember. So not when I was a kid, but as far as I can remember. And what I did was I made a spreadsheet that took all that data and automatically plotted that on this sheet. And so, for example, starting 20th of April, I'm so close. That's the end, by the way. That's the end. The end is in sight. And I see the light at the end of the tunnel. So this is a time when I was away from the UK. Where did I go? 2021. Where the fuck was I for so long? Like half a month. Where was I? I don't remember. That's the longest I've been away. That is that's when I did the 3-month trip in Germany and the Czech Republic and Poland. No, not in that order. That was probably, yeah, that was in Canada, like 2 weeks. I don't remember where I was. I'm not going to click over to the timeline because I'm going to give you all my personal info, but 2021. Where was I in 2021 for 2 weeks? August? Oh, no, that's 23. Oh, yeah, I was away. Yeah, I was away for a whole month in 23. That's the longest I've been away. I was in Lithuania for 23. I'll look at that later. But anyway, so over here is the quota I've got, because it says I cannot be away for more than 180 days every 12-month period. It's very confusing. That's the whole reason I made that spreadsheet, because like it's really hard to calculate very like precisely on your own. That's why I had a spreadsheet do it for me. So, for example, let's say on this day, that's basically saying, oh, I can be away for like another 163 days until I got disqualified from settlement. The worst I had it was 120. That's the worst. Yeah, I had only 123 days left, but that's fine. The color changes based on how much quota I've got left, and it's all in green, so I'm good. So don't worry about it. That's such a good idea. Don't get duped into paying £500 more. I think there are good reasons for paying that. For example, Evan Edinger paid for the priority processing every single time, because I mean, he is a full-time YouTuber, I think, right? I think he is. And he says he wants to make sure he's able to go to any YouTuber events that might happen. So he pays for that every time so that he gets his passport back and he's able to leave the country. And he's gone through a few different visas. So every single time he's paid that money. Thankfully, I've only got one visa. I've only had one visa. So it's only this step where I have to consider paying that 500 more. But I'm basically in the same situation now where I'm like, will I be able to go to the conference, the event? We'll find out in 2 months' time. I wonder if they apply the 180 days rule to people in Northern Ireland who have the right to go to the Republic of Ireland. Shit, I actually don't know. Because it's a common travel area. Because what I do know is, while my settlement is processing, I tell people I can't leave the UK. That's like simplified version of it. But I cannot leave the UK, Ireland, Isle of Man, and the Channel Islands. So I can go to any of those places. I can go to Isle of Man during my processing, and obviously I can't go to Ireland because they can't stop me from going from Northern Ireland over to the Republic. But that's a very good question. I actually don't know. Lawful presence? Does it say Ireland? No idea. Huh. Interesting. Doesn't say. I had more than 30 trips in the last 5 years. The system can only accept 30 trips elements, so I had to use extra. Really? You have to list everything? Oh, shit. Let me check. I'm going to switch back to this so that you don't see my the details of my spreadsheet. But how many trips have I got? Let me count. So I'm going to verbally count for you. So I started in April 21. I also, in my spreadsheet, I number all my trips, so I can just do the maths. Oh, but no, but the annoying thing is I in my spreadsheet I make Scotland and Ireland, Scotland and Wales a different country because why not? So I have to take those away because those don't count. April 2021, England, so Poland, Scotland doesn't count, Poland again, Wales doesn't count, France, Poland again, Portugal, Poland. Why the fuck have I been to Poland so many times? Italy, Lithuania. That's 2 times because I came back to England in between. Ireland, does Ireland count? Jackie, does Ireland count? It counts, right? So I have to count Ireland. Republic of Ireland, I mean. So 10. And then Denmark, Netherlands, Hungary, Germany, Belgium, France. Cornwall doesn't count. Canada, Ireland, Czechia, Poland, Netherlands, so 21 now, Portugal. Romania's in the future, so 22. I've got 22 trips. I don't need extra paper. So you're more well-traveled than I am. All I do is just go to Poland again and again, and I go to Scotland, well, because my partner was living there, and I go to Wales a couple of times. Mainly Poland. I think probably the Polyglot Gathering, and also something else. The irony is the government will just count per year. No way. Don't tell me that. I've done all this. I've done all this just to satisfy the requirement. And now you tell me they wouldn't care? Can't wait for this day to come sooner for me. I need my name and gender change. Ah, right. Because your Hong Kong identity is in your like probably dead name and no gender, right? By the way, I also on my spreadsheet, again, I won't show you this because it's quite personal, but I have a sheet that's all the visas I've had, and then also like how far in I am in my residency requirement. And I watched the percentage go up day by day for 5 years now. And now I'm at 98.43%, which is it's crazy to think about. I've literally watched it go up from 0 all the way to 98%. Time flies. Time is not real. It's crazy. First time chatter. Hello, I's meme van. I would take the wording at face value. 180 days in the UK. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But I wonder how they do that, because if you go to Ireland, from Northern Ireland, they probably don't stamp your passport or anything, because literally there's no border control. So maybe that would be a bit... Maybe if you just don't report it, it'll be fine. I don't know. Polska Gurum. This kind of nerdiness I live for. To be fair, I can't take credit for that. My friend Samuel gave me the idea for the spreadsheet in the first place, and then I took it and then I put my own spin on it. So the sheet that I just showed you, the residency requirement one, I came up with the idea for that specific sheet using the data that I have, and then I worked out the formula. So it took me a whole working sheet to work out the formula, but then he took it and made it look nice. So it's a collaborative effort. Whereas the other ones, like the main timeline with all the data, the flights, the different countries that I've been, I have a tally of like how much time I've spent in each country. That is all his idea. I did come up with the idea of making a tally of how much time I spent in each continent. So I've spent 28.5% of my life in Europe, which is over a fourth now, over a quarter. Yep, it doesn't need updating. Yep, still quite up to date. I have a ranking of how much time I spent in each country. I've spent a weird amount of time in Scotland, like a whole 2 months in Scotland. Ireland counts. Okay. Polish passport when? I have to live there. I don't know how many years to do that. Maybe afterwards. I can't change shit for stuff here because I need to match my home. Oh, welcome to my life, Vivian. I mean, yours is probably a lot messier because of the gender change and all that, but that's basically what I'm going through as well. Great. It's so annoying. Why can't you just change it? I guess it's to prevent fraud, to prevent people from making up completely new identities for themselves for fraud purposes. But it should be allowed when you do the same thing for gender purposes. It's hard to draw the line. Aye, gang. That's a good point. In theory, there's nothing proving you went to the ROI being in the CTA, so just hope no bureaucrat questions. Thankfully, I haven't been to Ireland that much. I mean, when I fly there, I do get a stamp, right? I don't remember. Let me check. Where is my passport? Where is my goddamn passport? Imagine if I lost it. Right here. Here. British passport, obviously. The red one. Oh my god, I'm gonna get a blue one in like a year and a half. But yeah, it looks blue because the what they call the cover is blue, but the actual passport is red. Sometimes people get surprised when I pull out a British passport. I'm like, yeah. And then I'm also talking about applying for British citizenship. That confuses people. Did I get a stamp for Ireland? Okay, can anyone tell me? You fly to Dublin, you get stamped. Okay, so I did. I guess I did get stamped. Does it have the EU's stamp format? Does it look the same as all the other EU ones? No, they have their own stamp, because even though they're in the EU, they have a really fun stamp, a much bigger one. That says Irish Naturalization and Immigration Service, Dublin Airport, temporary visitor permission not renewable. Okay. Wait, hold on. I can remain in Ireland for a maximum of 90 days, but it's in a common travel area. I should be allowed to be in Ireland indefinitely, right? Right? As long as I'm allowed to be in the UK, I should be allowed to be in Ireland. How does that work? Can anyone tell me? How does that work? I stayed in Ireland, ROI for a few days, so I stayed in Donegal over in ROI, but I go between NI and ROI. Oh, good luck. Polish passport is like 10 years. It's crazy. Getting one is by decent right now, so maybe borrow mine? Just say your name is Dan. Borrow That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would love to go live in a different country at some point, but it's just a lot of work. I had the easy way out. My visa is super... I have to sound more British. My visa is super easy because I come from Hong Kong, you know, Britain. Oh, British Empire. So I got the easy way out, but still, it took 5 years. And then if I were to go to somewhere else and try to get residency again, I would have to actually get a proper job, full-time employment of that sort. That's too much work, you know. I'll just stay where I am and try to make life work here. I know how to live in this country, right? You're not part of Schengen, so maybe that makes sense. Oh yeah. So maybe the EU stamps are the Schengen stamps. The Schengen countries all look the same. I mean, the stamp looks the same. When I used to live in Scotland, you could fly from Edinburgh to Dublin with just a driving license. No, I think you can. I think you still can in theory. I haven't tried it because every time I flew to Dublin, I was like, oh, imagine if I didn't bring my passport. Could I still do that? I think in theory you can. And also I've flown twice from Birmingham to Glasgow, and I'm pretty sure you can do that as well. Obviously not the same situation because, you know, Ireland being a sovereign country, but I mean they're all they're same in the sense that you shouldn't need a passport to be allowed to go there. Did anyone fly to Glasgow without a passport? I'm sure someone did, but I had mine anyway just to keep it simple. Only BC does not get the stamp. Oh, interesting. Only full British citizens get the same rights as Irish citizens. That is to say, you get rights to live in, work in, study, and vote in the RI indefinitely. Oh, wait, so what am I allowed to do in the Republic of Ireland as someone who is allowed to, well, live and work in the UK? How does the common travel area work? You know what, I'm just going to do a quick Google common travel area. I imagine I'm not allowed to work there, obviously. Actually not obvious. Working. Okay. If I were a British citizen, or when I am a British citizen, I would be allowed to work in Ireland. Right? Interesting. Voting rights? Yeah. Cool. Very interesting. I fly into Belfast using my driving license. Oh. I could try that at some point. Who knows? Just for fun. I'm still thinking about going to Belfast for the festival thing. And on the very off chance that I get the job, I will be living in Belfast. So I forgot to bring my passport and fly to Belfast. It feels risky. Exactly. Yeah. So that's why in theory, you can fly without a passport, but then it just feels wrong. So I just haven't done it. I'm Irish, and anytime I went to the UK, they only asked for a passport, went by boat and plane different times. Okay, they asked for a passport, but if you're Irish, you can just... Can you just pull out... Do you guys have IDs in Ireland? I assume... I should not have assumed, but assuming that you're from the Republic, do you have IDs? Latus? Because if you have them, you can probably just pull it out and then travel, right? I think that's how it works. The common travel area. Why does this stream become talking about this kind of geopolitics stuff? Not geopolitics. Like, what do you call this? Is it geopolitics? Is it just travel arrangements? So you as a BNO wouldn't. Even British overseas territory citizens don't technically have the right of abode in the UK. Really? Wait, really? So if you're from Gibraltar, can you live and work in the UK? Can you not live and work in the UK? I flew from... What, is it an overseas territory, not a dependency? Flew from Bristol to Newcastle and didn't check my passport. Interesting. Because, like, normally when you fly internationally, you go through the gates towards security, and then at the gates, actually, no, you don't scan your passport, you scan your boarding pass. They check your passport at the actual gate, so you're right. So they just wouldn't check it, maybe. You have 20 Zurich stamps. Crazy. Vivian, are you loaded? Can I travel with you? I haven't been to Switzerland once. My family are planning to go there. Actually, are they? We had a call about it. We were going to travel somewhere this summer. I actually don't remember where we're planning to go to. I just didn't care enough to remember. Because I don't even know if I can leave the country by summer. I probably can, but I don't know for sure. But I have so many Polish stamps. Probably the same idea. Your partner lives in Zurich? That's why. That's why. There's no idea there's a passport card. Passport card. So it functions the same way as a passport, but it's a card. So you don't have to have it then, because you don't have to have a passport. So you don't have to have a passport card. Whereas if it were an ID, then you would be required to have it, right? Is that how I understand it? I believe the Republic have rights dating back to before the EU. Yeah. We have passport, European ID card, and driver's license. Oh, so you do have European ID cards. Okay. The vast majority of BOTCs are also BCs. So they have both. So if they come from Gibraltar, they also have British citizenship. But if they didn't have British citizenship, they would not be allowed to do certain things in the UK. Is that what you're saying? Gibraltar voted in the Brexit referendum. I wonder why they voted against leaving the EU. I wonder why. So they must have some sort of rights to go to the UK. Yeah, they do. They do have. They can come to the UK. Honestly, I know so little about like what they can and can't do. It's so convoluted. British nationalities are extremely convoluted. Me speaking as one type of convoluted British nationality. The weirdest thing is I flew from London to Zurich once, but I never got a Schengen entry. That's interesting, but that is in Schengen. Gibraltar, I think, is an exception to the lack of right of abode. Okay. Before 2002 BOTCs. Nerd. They weren't BCs normally. Oh, they were BDTCs. Oh, wait. So after 2002, everyone got BCs. Is that what you're saying? Not had a single language lesson. Adds not set of things in particular order. Learn how to say not yet and already and no longer and what's the last one? Wait, hold on. Still. Yeah. Not yet, already, no longer, still. Learn these 4 words in every language. Very easily overlooked and very useful. This is peak nerd shit. It is peak nerd shit. How did I get here? How did I get to this point in this stream? What am I doing? I was just looking at what I need to do when I apply for my settlement. I guess this is pretty much the kind of stuff I need to think about, right? But yeah, I'll show you the rest of this stuff. So time spent in the UK, yeah. So you can be on any of these visas. So imagine if you had a work visa and then switch to the British National Overseas visa, then you could get that earlier, which I know someone who's done. But before this, I was on a student visa, so that didn't count. And then knowledge of language and life. That is the official internal name for the requirements. So it's called KOLL. I've read through all the guidelines and the books for like offices within the visa office. So visa office. I need to practice that. So I know so much about it. If you haven't seen my video about like the knowledge of language and life in the UK, I've done so much about this. I had a video about becoming a citizen through Welsh only. My next video, no, the video I filmed tonight is going to be like an update to that. So this one I've very publicly done. This one, so I have, the TLDR is I can't do it in Welsh. I'm going to go into more detail when I film that video tonight, but I don't have this, but I have a degree taught in English. I don't have a PhD yet, but I have a master's, thankfully. If I didn't do my master's here, that would be a bit more hairy. It was a BOTC Act of 2002 that made them British citizens. Why does everyone know everything about BOTCs? What the hell? Are you going to keep your HKID when you naturalize? Yeah, I still have it. I talked about this earlier. I have one that is theoretically still valid, but effectively not. Zurich is not in the Schengen. What? Switzerland is in the Schengen, right? I know technically China doesn't allow dual nationality. It's like one-eyed closed policy. They in theory don't allow it, but then they don't stop you from getting it. I think. I know someone who's renounced their Chinese. I know someone who's originally like just Chinese, plain Chinese, and then they renounced it. But that was their choice, I think. Maybe it was required. I have no idea. They don't recognize it formally, but they tolerate it. Yeah. Israel, are you doing all of these forms in Welsh? Oh, that is... I haven't thought about it. David, thanks for making me think about it. I haven't thought about it. Huh. I'll see if the form is available in Welsh. I wonder. I don't... now I'm really curious. I'm going to add that to my video. Can I do it? So applying in Welsh. Oh my god, thank you, David. Zurich is in Schengen. Yeah, you can use your foreign passport to enter and leave Hong Kong, but according to the Chinese state, it's only a travel document. Oh, you mean a BNO? Yeah. But if I get BC, then I mean, you wouldn't, but could you? Could you use your... British citizenship, like British passport, like British citizen passport, to enter Hong Kong? Because normally the rule of thumb is you enter that country using that country's passport, right? But are you allowed to not do that? You're allowed, right? But there are some circumstances when you don't have to take. I think I've mentioned this in many replies to comments. I think, for example, if you're deaf, you don't have to do that at all. Because lots of people ask me if you can do the test and like satisfy the language requirement in British Sign Language. And as far as I understand it, when you do not take the test, if you're a kid, if you're really old, so lots of old people actually don't have to know, when the Habeas Corpus Act was passed, or how tall the London Eye is. They don't have to know that. How unfair. We should make the old people learn how long the Byron Tapestry is, right? Long-term physical mental condition. I think, yeah, so if you're deaf, you just don't have to do the test. Or have to do the English test as either. So, but someone asked if you, let's say, I think there was someone in my comments saying they have problems with speaking, and they asked if they would be allowed to do the test in sign language in that situation. I'm like, I honestly don't know, because they're not deaf. But that is a long-term physical condition, so they could probably just get exempted anyway. Because now the government doesn't even recognize that as a travel document. Yeah, okay. Right. They don't? They just say it's a piece of paper that doesn't exist, right? Death, taxes, and Chinese bureaucracy being weird. You can use Hong Kong ID. I actually don't know if I can use my Hong Kong ID to enter Hong Kong. Because as I said, my ID is effectively not valid. So I don't know if they would accept it. We could find out. I think... And also my Hong Kong passport has also expired. So literally I was like, am I just not able to enter Hong Kong? I think I probably could if I wanted to. Because I have a Hong Kong passport that has expired. And I have a Hong Kong ID that theoretically never expires, but effectively has expired. So I think what I would have to do if I went to Hong Kong was to tell them the situation, because I mean, I'm legally allowed to not enter Hong Kong in years, right? I didn't break any laws. And then they would have to arrange, look up a list somewhere, check that I'm actually a Hong Kong resident, a permanent resident, and then make me get a new card or something right away. But I for a while, I was actually thinking, if I'm even able to enter Hong Kong anymore, that would be crazy. The UK got a bit weird this year. Really? You're going to renounce your Hong Kong citizenship? That's because of trans stuff. But yeah, but then would you Vivian, would you consider going back to Hong Kong at any point, like for traveling? Because in that case, you would use your British passport, right? You don't think there is a non-English visa and Immigration Service government website? The website probably is available, at least to some extent, in Welsh, but the application, I think not. Let's check this out together. Cymraeg. Wasanaethau Cymraeg. Trosolwg. Bydd pasport, pensiynau, gwaith y materion cyflogaeth, gyriaeth arweinyddiaeth, cyfiawnder gyfraith, dynasyddiaeth a byw yn y dy. Pleidleisio, trwyddedau, gwyliau banc, benthyciad, myfyrwyr. Scamiau. This is basically every service that is available in Welsh on this website. Ymgeisio ar-lein am passport. No, that's not quite yet though. I need settlement. I guess no then. Because it's not like there's a page and then there's just press this for Cymraeg. You press this. Yeah, you press this for everything that's available in Cymraeg, and there is not that. Let's see. Nope, dim Cymraeg. Okay. Apply to settle in the UK, certain categories only. Before you apply. Yeah. Oh, interesting. You know what? When I film tonight, I'm gonna mention this. I'm gonna briefly talk about how it's not available. it doesn't bother me that much, but obviously it would be great if it were available for the sake of equality. Just you cannot use the e-channel use passport. Okay. You can use HKSR passport. I can enter Hong Kong, they just tell me to renew my ID. Yeah. Your HKID expired? The HKID doesn't expire though, in theory. I love how the Home Office used to give you a choice in British or Irish passports. Or pay proof of right of abode in your second nationality. What does that mean? What? What is that? You have to automatically lose it. You kind of, but not really. Yeah. Thanks for explaining. I was going to do that. So yeah, it gets a bit weird. If you have Hong Kong residency as a Chinese national, you get a second nationality, and then you choose to renounce your Chinese nationality for whatever reason. For example, if your second nationality doesn't allow dual nationality, you renounce that, and then if you don't go to Hong Kong in 3 years, you lose your right of abode and becomes right of land. And I don't know how that's different. It's very confusing. I think you don't get to vote, right? Or something like that. I mean, not that there is any point to voting in Hong Kong right now, so I wouldn't mind losing that right, but I don't know what else I would lose. But all I know is I just don't have any Hong Kong documents that are valid now. I've lost them all. If you're a British citizen, you can't use a foreign passport. Okay, so that's a rule. You cannot use a different. You cannot use a non-British passport as a British citizen to enter the UK. Okay, good to know. Just pure nerdy curiosity. I guess I'm gonna have to look into how changing names and gender works. You're gonna get changed. Oh, Vivian, are you talking about how it's difficult to change your name and gender in the UK because it's difficult to change in Hong Kong? I think I mentioned that earlier. I don't know if you were here, but the guidelines explicitly say, let me say name. Yeah, aligning names. I'll show you this document because I've read through the whole thing. This is a guideline for visa office or passport office people. And you see, they're purple. I've read them. I've clicked them. So there are certain situations where you can refuse to change the name on your Hong Kong passport, and they would judge it on a case-by-case basis. So, for example, exceptions. The legal, cultural, social, and technical restrictions does not wish to renew. I mean, that's me. I do not wish to renew my foreign passport. So I could fall into this category, and it would be a lot of trouble for me to renew my Hong Kong passport as well, or change the name for that matter. There's no reasonable way for a customer to change the name on a foreign document. So in these cases, you actually don't have to make sure your name on your British passport aligns with the foreign one. So for example, gender, yeah, here you go. Customer has changed the name because they have changed gender, and the law in the issuing country does not allow or recognize a change of gender. So I don't know, Vivian. I don't know if Hong Kong actually allows you to change your gender/name, but I imagine it would be very difficult. So if you can tell them it is very difficult, and then they would, let's see, travel. They would have to do something about it. So, for example, yeah. So they would put an observation on your passport, saying that, yep, it doesn't match your foreign name, but we have accepted it. And this one would be my situation where, like, I would have to travel to Hong Kong to change the name on my passport, or go to the aforementioned scary Chinese embassy, which has famously, again, dragged Hong Kong people into the embassy and beaten them up. So I think I have a valid reason to not want to go into that building where British police cannot come and save me. The risk of traveling. I mean, there is a risk of traveling to Hong Kong, right? Officially, there is a travel warning still in force, I think. Oh no, sorry, Vivian, that would be you. That would be you. Again, I'm not sure what the Hong Kong law says. I haven't looked into that, but potentially, even if they allow it, if they make it very difficult, maybe that's a valid reason. Customer? Yeah, customer. They do say customer. We are customers of the passport office. I don't know if it is a private service, but even if it is not a private service, the language makes it sound like a private service, so it's... Extra things for right of abode and right to land. You can't be deported. Oh, if you have right of abode, you can't be deported. But if you have right to land, you can be deported. If you do something stupid, such as saying something bad about the government, you can be deported, right? You can vote for office. Oh, you can't vote for office. You can't vote, and that's fine. Who wants to vote in Hong Kong anyway? You're exempt from buyer stamp duty. Oh. So if you lose your right of abode and you want to buy property in Hong Kong, you have to pay stamp duty. Interesting. This is so nerdy. You haven't been here a long time. Long time no see. I still don't know how to say your name, but every time I see it, I want to read it in Cyrillic. It looks like Cyrillic, even if it's not Cyrillic, is it? Yeah, I find it so silly that 5 times the price of a passport. Okay, it has taken a long time. Oh, wow, the viewership has dropped a lot. I'm planning to do a tiny bit of studying today. For some, even though it has been a long time already. Actually, I'm hungry. I should probably go and eat something. The way I'm studying now is I'm thinking of doing some input study. You also read Mrua in Cyrillic? Links. Oh yeah, you're Links. Of course, you're Links. I remember now. Yeah, you changed your name. You used to be called Links, and then now you have this very Cyrillic looking name. I'm gonna do some input study in BSL. So I found this. By the way, this is called Lumo TV. Lumo TV is what used to be called BSL Zone. They are the BSL TV channel. That's I think mainly only online, or is it available on TVs as well? I think it's available on TVs, maybe. And as of like last year, they started uploading stuff on YouTube as well. So I think maybe that becomes easier to access. But for just to be sure, just to reduce the chances I get copyright, I'm gonna mute it because I think the audio sensor is much more sensitive towards the copyright. Maybe it's less sensitive in video, but who knows? Oh, what if I flip it? Is it safer if I flip it? Well, that would be funny though. I mean, in theory, I could just flip it. Oh, that doesn't change anything in sign language. I want to try it. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. You're gonna watch it with me. I'm gonna watch it in normal way, and you're gonna watch it flipped and muted, because you know it's sign language, so I can just mute it. I mean, I could in theory also watch it with sound on, and you could watch it muted, but that's immersion. You know, I'm doing input in my target language, so I want the full immersion. Let's see. This could be fun. This is a... Oh, but this is... Oh,
Na piechotkę remamenty w sklepach,
Oops.
którymi
What?
zarządzały.
I accidentally played another tab. I pressed the play button on my keyboard and I accidentally played a different tab. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, but this is Gavin Lilly. It's flipped now, but it's Gavin Lilly. He's the number one basically comedian in BSL, deaf comedian. He did something did a show on this channel. I don't know what it is actually, but I'm like, Gavin Lilly, I gotta watch it. I think I'm seeing him like next week or something. Is it Gavin Lilly that's coming? Hold on, Manchester Deaf. Because I got a ticket to a comedy thing next week. I actually don't remember what I'm going to. I know it's a comedy thing. What's new? I don't know where to look for that information. You know what? Let's look at the Instagram together. Oh, it's also flipped. Sorry, but that's fine. I can explain stuff to you. Where's the comedy thing? What's going on? Is that posted in? That was posted in March. That thing was probably posted back in February. That's when I bought my ticket. Something that's posted in February? No, it's January. Oh, that okay. So it's not him. It's someone else. It's someone else. But it's deaf comedy. We weren't distracting you. We're just merely helping you study citizenship law. It doesn't change anything unless they talk about East-West. Yeah, it's the same. So it's because like I sign left-handed, and that's already flipped anyway. So now it's just gonna look like most people are left-handed. You could play some of your compositions in the background quietly. I guess. Or I could play some copyright-free music, such as my waiting room music. What if I just did that? Can I do that? Let me see. Intro. I'm just gonna put the intro music on. Lol. It's on now, isn't it? Oh no, I'm just yeah. How loud is it? Okay. I'll watch some of this and then call it a day because I'm hungry now. But I'm gonna do some studying. Just some studying. It's on. Is it loud? That's a thing. Did YouTube kick me off top chat for talking about transgender stuff? No way. That's mad. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to change it to live chat because I don't know why it filters out some people from the top chat. Even though I guess it would make more sense when there's more people in the chat, but for now it's basically the same. It's not many people. Good volume. Okay, let's see what's on this show. Oh, can you read English? Can you read subtitles flipped? Oh. He's trying to control the chaos? I don't think he's gonna do that. Random. I love random. That's so thick. That's so mean. To be honest, I don't understand that very well either. It's so difficult. I can't fucking read sign language, man. Oh, I know her. Let me read chat. You think you're back? Need to do live interpreting? I can't even understand it. I can't interpret it. I can't hear it with the music. I'm gonna check out the music afterwards. Who's the host? I don't know. Who's Oh. Best friend and teacher. Chad, how risky do you think it is to play this a normal way so that you can you can follow what's going on with the subtitles? probably a better idea. I don't know. Well, okay, we'll see. You know what? What's the worst that can happen? Well, I get demonetized. I don't really care. I get like 10p out of this, so who cares? Okay, let's watch it normally. That was an interesting experiment. The thing with watching this stuff is, like, I try to watch it without subtitles, but then they sign things like names without spelling it out, or when they sign things like Jersey, which I've never seen anyone sign before. Lol, he just talked to the team on the left. when they sign names of people and places without spelling it, I have to read the subtitles. So like, how do I practice? Like I have to like try not to read subtitles and then have to read subtitles for that one and then try not to read again. Oh, professional rugby player. Humor is next fucking level. I couldn't get it without the subtitles. What the fuck? Scotland mentioned? Yeah. Why are they talking about dicks? Also, why is it every time I press the play button on my keyboard, it plays the other tab? What is happening? Is it because it's muted? That's why it doesn't. The play button doesn't work on this, but it's because it's muted. What the hell? What? LOL. He just spells tan and then whatever. He spells tan whatever. What? Wait, that? You get the points from that? From naming a fucking tangerine? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna find out what they're doing in this game and then I'm gonna end it there. I'm just very curious now. What games will they do? Oh, it's a multilingual game. That's so cool. You constantly help my BSL teacher spell the things. He tried to explain a word and spell the first few letters. That is totally fair. Like, I'd rather they explain it, but then again, for things like Jersey, oh, as you could like point at where Jersey is on a map. That would work, but oh, so it's like Cards Against Humanity. Give me a funny answer. If your answer's not funny, you lose or something. Oh my... What? That's shit. Oh, they're guessing different languages. That's the thing with sign languages, like, because so many of them are like iconic, as in the signs imitate the thing. It is a lot easier for you to guess a word in a foreign language than it is for spoken languages. Because over here, a random Finnish word, I would never know what it means unless it's like a cognate. But in sign languages, you can just probably guess your way through. You wouldn't get everything, but you could give it a good educated guess. But that was shit though, so I think he did that on purpose. They are trying to interpret it in BSL, which is going to be difficult. You gotta like forget what you think you know, and then start from like first principles. That's not funny though. That could mean milk? He's trying so hard to like, come on, I'm trying to talk. He's just trying so hard. That one's funnier to him. I there's so much stuff I don't know though. What the fuck is Braille? Like I'm not asking what is Braille, but like what is Braille in sign language? I didn't know that. You meant jersey like a sports jersey? No, jersey, actual jersey. Oh. No, again. Okay. Whoa. That was a hint. I don't know how you're supposed to guess that though. I guess you could probably guess the carrot one. But not easy. Whoa, what? They... What is happening here? He did that on purpose. He chose all the like offensive looking stuff on purpose. What the hell? The funny thing is, like, compared to hearing game shows, they can't actually discuss in private. What on earth? Yeah. Because for example, on like quiz shows in English, you get people like discussing with each other in private, like, oh, what do you think that is? But then they can't do that. They can't discuss in private. Orange barnacle. They're very like focused on that one sign. I don't know what I would have thought that means though. That could be an actual action or could just mean something abstract. You never know. They have to huddle. Yeah. Well, they're sitting very far apart, so that they could be like, "Ooh, what do you think that means?" So I was like, the host doesn't really have to ask what their answer is because he sees all that already. Like, oh, I know what you're gonna answer, but give me the official answer. It's always orange. He's just giving out points willy-nilly. He just likes it and then gives them a point. Just completely random. I guess that's the name of the show. That's what I said. Oh damn! It's Swedish! Oh, I love them when they do that and laughs. Because, like, this is normally like, oh, that's bad. Oh, no. Oh, no. But then she's like, oh, no, that's really funny and bad. That's... I've never seen that combination before. Because, yeah, it's bad in a funny way. That's a fun number. That is just 7 in Hong Kong, right? Or China. Oh, those are, of course those are letters. That makes sense. Hold on. Oh, but that's not an A though. You need an A ring, or you need the A with the ring. So I guess maybe like this is A ring. Or means son. Oh yeah, that's an A ring. That's an A ring right there. That's a little circle. I love when they use numbers that are very different. You can't really figure out that it's a number. But like what I guess you could have realized that when he's doing like really weird hand shapes, usually those are letters. Right? Because most signs don't use really weird hand shapes. Hello, still mate. Because year is år, yeah. 1 år. 7. Oh, did it say 9? 9 år. 9 år. I missed his explanation. Oh, truth and lies things. No, what? It's a bin. Oh, knickers. I didn't get knickers. I thought it was socks. Oh, I was like lay? No, it's lace. I missed a C. It's not lace. That's a useful sign. Wait, revenge is answer. Yeah, it's answer. Oh, again? Once. Okay, once before. Yeah, I wouldn't have Tottenham. Oh, it's just TT, okay. And then you have to lip read. No one. Oh, Hoover. I thought that was something else. Oh, she signs lazily. Is that the same house party? Oh. Oh, hello.
Good luck to your settlement application. Good luck to me too.
Good luck to you too, Jackie. Thank you. Thank you for contributing. Yeah, all the best to you. Are you submitting it right now, Jackie? I guess you're here, but you're quiet. But are you submitting it as we speak? Or are you done? I'm probably have to think about doing that like in a bit because I have to, yeah, submit it tonight. I don't have to submit it tonight, but I will do it. Okay, well we'll see which one's true, and then we'll end this stream. I think the second and third one aren't that like unbelievable. But that's also the thing is like everyone knows everyone, because if you didn't know the other people, you'd have a harder time guessing. But then they all know each other because it's a small community, it's a small world. It's a deaf community, so they're like, oh yeah, I know you, and that sounds like something you'd do. I love how they just made that up right there, because that's the heels, right? And then they were like, oh, that's how she was sleeping, cross-legged. What is she doing? Why is she hiding? Oh, it's like. Uh-oh. The fucking 3 points. No message? I was expecting a message. Anyway, so we reviewed the answer. Thank you, Vivian, for the £3 as well. Thanks both Jackie and Vivian for joining me on this journey. I guess we are on the same journey. Jackie and me are a lot closer to the end. But Vivian, good luck for everything. I'm glad you came and talked about these things. I hope that this discussion helped out with the name changing thing, because I did in fact look into that quite a lot. over the past many years. So I don't know if that helps, but you have to do it in bits. Let me know how long it takes, Jackie. I hope I'll be done with it quickly as well, because I mean I have all the documents and information that I need, so it shouldn't take that long, but it might. So I'm scared. But before that, I'm gonna eat something. I'm gonna finish my job application, and I'm gonna script what I'm gonna say in that video. That's gonna be the next video I film. Not the next video I post, but the next video I film is gonna be talking about the language requirement situation, because it's a separate thing. You'll see by then when I post it. But then I'm going to tack on the actual application at the end. I'm not going to show the whole thing. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I'm going to be like recording just for the fun of it. Good luck to both of you. Thank you very much. You didn't know that page existed. Do you need a link to that, or can you look it up yourself? I'll just put the link here in case you need it. So, as I said, that will be it for today. It's a very random, like this show, random stream. I tacked on a tiny bit of language study at the end. There was not very successful study because I understood very little. I'm so bad at this language, man. I don't know how I ended up getting to level 3. But yeah, that's good discussion. Let me know again if you ever have any suggestions for what I can stream. Let me know in the comments or on like posts in the community, the channel community. You can post stuff on there, I think. Otherwise, I think, you know, maybe I'll do some like old school grammar study at some point. I still waiting for the games to play. I also want to do some more guest streams. That was fun last time we did it. I have a guest in mind that I might do at some point, but I would have to go down to London. And you know me, I'm too lazy to plan any travel unless I have to. Go get some food. Yeah, my fridge is completely empty, so I'm gonna have to go out anyway. Now, I was gonna do my groceries earlier today as well, but then I sort of didn't, and then I probably have to find food elsewhere. We'll see. What jobs are you applying for? I mentioned earlier this stream. Again, it's extremely unlikely that I get even an interview, so I don't actually care that much about the application, but I was like, might as well. It doesn't hurt to apply. I'm eligible. I'm eligible. Might as well give it a go. Won't hurt. But I'll be looking for other things as well. Yeah. If you know anyone who would love to give me a job, I would be very happy to get it as well. You kind of know what I can do already. I put all of my skills on the internet for people to see, so that is my CV. Anyway, I will go get some food. Thank you very much for joining me today. I will hopefully see you all next week. Wait a few seconds.